In 776 BC, the results of the first Olympic Games are announced by a carrier pigeon. First newspapers introduced in the early 18th century. 1901, Macaroni's first radio broadcast. In 1922, BBC's first radio broadcast. In 1936, BBC's first television broadcast. In 1953, 22 million watched the coronation of Elizabeth II. In 1969, 600 million people watched live color coverage of Neil Armstrong's moonwalk. In 1994, the electronic telegraph is launched as the UK's first newspaper website. In 1998, Larry Page and Sergey Brin renamed a little-known search engine called Backrub as Google. Media has evolved. Have you?
Media or mass media encompasses a wide range of media technologies such as television, radio, film, newspapers, magazines, and the internet. These media are a means of reaching a large audience in order to relay information, news, or entertainment. We live in the information age where every individual has easy and quick access to a variety of information sources. The touch of a button, click of a mouse, or simply a glimpse at the morning daily is enough to make available a host of opportunities to educate ourselves about some new aspect of the world. Let us take a moment to remind ourselves that we might well be slightly and even be wrong about using media.
Media. It's pretty easy to do. No one can pass such headlines without giving way to a click. In order to gain money from advertisers or governments, the media has to hook us in, and it knows our minds are helpless in the face of such headlines. We look to the media to tell us about what matters, but it cares predominantly about what will excite us. Sometimes the two categories coincide. What's most important in the world may be what's most immediately exciting too. But usually that's not the case. We're built to have an almost irresistible attraction to certain stories involving power, fame, disaster and sex, and yet we're tempted to yawn about schools, developing world problems and the money supply. We're not evil, it's just the equivalent of our fatal weakness for processed sugar, fat and salt, and the media does everything it can to exploit this. One always makes more money getting someone scared about bugs, viruses, explosions, than getting them to a sane, correct assessment of the dangers facing them and a melancholy acceptance of death and compromise in general, and respectable. It's called the news because of an obsession with the notion that the new and important go together, but much that just happened is far less important than many things that occurred thousands of years ago. There are things we need that lie further back. The most significant bits of information could not always have happened in the last 24 hours, as the news pretends. When the media's in a serious mood, it will give us 6,000-word essays on global warming that only a handful of people read. It seems the choice is either between the sexy and banal or the serious and starchy. In the utopia, what we need is the most serious issues presented in the most engaging ways. It's not enough for serious journalists to plonk the important stories before us. They need to work doubly hard to get the story and then also to make it exciting as the latest from Taylor Swift. There's nothing wrong with having famous people in a society. The reason why celebrities become a dirty word is that we've got the wrong celebs in front of us. We need the media to anoint people with fame, but fame for doing noble and good things that really help a nation. We don't need to get rid of celebrities, we need better varieties. We like to think we've got a good media because it's free. Freedom is a wonderful privilege, no doubt, but on its own, it's nothing. We need a media that isn't just free, but also good, that is, able to direct a mass audience towards what truly counts, which is, as it's been since the days of Plato.
We therefore conclude that media may help us with a lot of things, like getting information in the internet and even connecting with other people. But we should not forget about the proper usage with media.